Death Stranding 2 is finally out, and, according to most reviews, Kojima has made its gameplay way more accessible to your average gamer than that of the original Death Stranding, a game which, despite having some very realistic-looking mountains, was, to be fair, a bit Marmite amongst the gaming community. Perhaps you saw all the videos of endless walking in the first game and decided it just wasn't for you, or maybe, like me, you played about 10 hours of the original before gameplay fatigue set in. Or perhaps you're a returning Death Stranding player who needs a story spoiler-free refresher course on how to handle Norman Reedus and his portable fetus. Whatever the reason for giving this one a go, here are 12 things to do first in Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which should help you get into this bonkers game nice and quickly. Mexico acts as a kind of extended tutorial for Death Stranding 2, not unlike White Orchard in The Witcher 3, the hinterlands in Dragon Age Inquisition, or even the eastern region in the original Death Stranding. There's still plenty to do there, but the story and gameplay open up a lot more once you reach Australia, including the introduction of a very useful companion that travels with you right before you leave Mexico.
Really, Sam? Your buttocks?
And once you reach West Fort Knot and get past a boss fight, you'll unlock fast travel via the DHV Magellan, so you can revisit Mexico anytime you'd like to try and uncover anything else that you've missed.
Please select a destination.
You a porter? 'Cause I don't recall having any outstanding orders.
Just be sure not to miss the trekking boots in Mexico before going through the plate gate, or as soon as you can, travel back and get them. You unlock the blueprint to fabricate the trekking boots by connecting a prepper called the Bocker to the Chiral network. If you don't have any standard or sub-orders that will lead you to him, make sure you look around his location on the map right here and find his lost cargo. Whether or not you use an order or just bring him things that he's lost, you only need 1 star in his connection level to get the boots, which are a big upgrade from your standard ones.
Well, thank you. It's nice to know there are still people like you out there. Take care.
In a major upgrade from the first Death Stranding, you can now see glimpses of what you'll earn from different facilities as you further your connection levels. In the corpus, if you browse the list of people in the databank that you've met and scroll down to the bottom of their text, you'll get a hint of what increasing your connection level with them will unlock. These can be invaluable tools such as new weapons, vehicle upgrades, or traversal tools, and you'll keep getting upgrades as you gain more stars. To raise these connection levels, complete all their orders, fulfill their specific aid requests, and return loose cargo you find out in the world to their facility. Watchtowers near facilities can really help you with this, as you can easily spot aid requests and loose cargo from a distance. And there is one facility in particular that you really need to prioritise as soon as you get to Australia. And that facility is the government facility. Once you reach this one, you'll get a tip and a sub-order involving a nearby prepper known as the Lone Commander, and you should complete this sub-order ASAP. While the first upgrade you get from the Lone Commander is an already powerful trank sniper rifle, continuing to increase your connection level with him will net you a silenced trank handgun, a lightweight trank sniper rifle that can be stored on your person more easily,
It's only right I reward the hard yakka you put in.
and finally, a silenced version of the trank sniper rifle once you hit 5 stars. It's probably going to take you a while to get that last one though, since progress really slows down towards the top until you can unlock more of the Lone Commander's standard orders, but do keep checking back because getting your hands on this incredible weapon as soon as possible will really up your game.
I've succeeded in refining the design of my old sniper rifle, made it lighter.
Death Stranding will forever be a strand game, so you should get comfortable with your actual strand. Ever seen someone in a kung fu movie use a shirt or towel to defend themselves? Well, it's kind of like that, but with a strand. Early on, stealth is pretty helpful when it comes to infiltrating bases, but there are a few quirks to using your Strand as a stealth weapon. For instance, if you want to use it when you're behind someone as a stealth takedown, you don't actually have to have your Strand equipped. You can just hit the shown button as you approach. If you want to parry a melee attack with a Strand, however, you'll need to hold the aim button and press the fire button as the attack is about to hit you. Once that attack is deflected, you can then bind your enemy with your Strand to take them out of commission. Other than your Strand, the Maser handgun is a fantastic early option for stealth. It needs to be charged, but it will one-shot most early enemies. Also, remember to hold down triangle to take your backpack off if it's oversized, as it may give you away in tall grass. Any list of things to do first in Death Stranding 2 must include building structures, and lots of them. But whether it's a watchtower, timefall shelter, or something else, you cannot build a structure outside the Chiral network. When planning your route, set a waypoint before you reach the area on your map with red outlines to remind yourself that you won't be able to build structures once you enter that zone, until you get to a new facility and add it to the network. Being the first to place these structures right at the border between areas will also help other porters who need them in the future, and will surely garner you extra likes for your contribution.
Now leaving chiral network coverage.
Roads can cost a tremendous amount of resources, especially if you try and build them in an area that you haven't brought into the Chiral network, and they become much more easier to build after you start opening up mines and monorails. But don't forsake them early on if possible, and if you're in an area with network coverage. If you look around your area and see that other people have already done a lot of the work contributing resources to a road, try and see if you can complete it, as having a big stretch of road will make your life so much easier. You don't use battery power when travelling on the very centre of roads, for instance, and smoothing out the surface should mean that you don't have to worry about falling down and damaging cargo.
Get it together. Oh boy, that must hurt.
Building roads can be a bit confusing at first though. Each auto-paver, which are marked on your map, check your filters if you don't see them, needs a specific amount of chiral crystals, metals and ceramics, with ceramics being rarer than the other two materials. When you engage with an auto-paver, you can add materials you're carrying or materials from a vehicle nearby to meet the threshold needed to build that road. Do this and you will see the totals go up, or you will see the auto-paver create a road instantly if you max out the resources needed. Other players can also dump resources into the same road, which is why you may see materials already contributed, even if it's the first time you've come across that particular auto-paver. You'll find better, more efficient weapons as you progress through the story, but early on, always make sure you fabricate blood grenades before setting out on a new order. The gazers, the blind, light-coloured small BTs, can be dispatched with 1 grenade each, while the bigger, darker-coloured watchers will take 3 grenades. Regardless of whether or not you expect to run into them, at least keep 2 full packs of grenades on you at all times, as an unexpected BT area can become much more difficult without a way to take out at least a few of them. And if you're careful about taking out these scout types, you shouldn't have to deal with any of the others. These grenades can also be used to clear out smaller chiral creatures, like the swarms that suck your battery and keep you from chiral crystal farming areas. The grenade's area of effect is indicated in blue, so take your time to line up shots and use the fire throw by holding down the fire button if you have to. As you do favours for preppers, you not only unlock gear but also materials, metals and ceramics for building roads for example, and precious chiral crystals for building pretty much everything. You can claim the crystals and materials from any prepper in the Claim Materials menu under Fabrication and Management. Crystals you can carry infinite amounts of, but materials you have to haul around physically, which is much easier when you unlock bigger vehicles. But early on, pack them on your back and carry them to the Magellan. You can store them in the Materials menu at the Magellan until you max out that space, then put them in your private locker. Getting into this pattern early will help you immensely with building roads later on. Though you can and should store materials on your ship, don't do the same with your quest cargo. This will always result in you receiving the Magellan evaluation, which will drastically lower your rating at the end of a delivery. This penalty only happens once you move the Magellan, so you can temporarily store stuff on it if you picked up a bunch of lost cargo in the wild. To be safe though, if you need to consolidate or offload quest cargo for a bit, put it in the facility's private locker until you're ready for a big delivery run.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated.
Not only can you swap between multiple map viewing methods, including weather forecasts and chiral regions, you can also filter out all the icons by orders, structures, and vehicles, or you can even use your own custom filter that you can manipulate by holding the shown button. Given the amount of clutter that can easily overtake your screen, take some time to make your own custom filter that only shows your most needed items, or alternatively, make one for something specific that you're looking for. And if you notice that suddenly a bunch of things have disappeared on your map, well, it may be that you've accidentally cycled to one of the game's automatic filters. Death Stranding 2 gives Sam a set of stats that increases as he uses various abilities and weapons. Want to be better at shooting assault rifles? Shoot a lot of assault rifles. Same goes for punching, or holding your breath, or sprinting, or all sorts of other things that you may be doing. If you're finding a particular area deficient in Sam's set of tools, check out Sam's stats from the pause menu to figure out what you can improve on and how. Want to boost your collection and get a selection of great games every month? Well, now you can with Humble Choice. Every month you get a hand-picked mix of awesome PC games, and this month's lineup is bursting at the seams with Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2, Nobody Wants to Die, Dungeons of Hinterberg, Chia, and more. Plus, your Humble Choice membership gets you up to 20% off in the Humble store, including on big new releases, and 5% of your membership goes to charity every month too. All this for just £8.99, and new subscribers can use the code JUNE25 to get their first month for just £6. So if you love discovering great games and doing a little good while you're at it, check out Humble Choice today.